Good evening, all of you. In the last class, I told you about this valuation of goodwill. That is, how many types of goodwill, how many methods of goodwill are there for valuation, and what are the different methods that we come across. When we go for goodwill, we'll come across three methods. That is, first one is average profits method, second one is super profits method, third one is capitalization method, and fourth one is annuity method. And in the last video class, I told you about this assets. Okay, the average profits method. Then after that, we have gone to this super profits method. And in super profits method, you will come across the difference between the future maintainable profits as well as the normal profits. And whenever the future maintainable profits are more than the normal profits, automatically the difference will call that thing as super profits. And this super profits for some years will purchase that. So automatically when we are purchasing, it is equivalent to the goodwill value. And the last class only I told you that when you are going for super profits method, some of the items you have to take into account and you have to find out. That is capital employed, average capital employed, normal profit, normal rate of return, normal profit. All these things you have to take into account. And capital employed, there are two approaches for calculation of capital employed. First one is asset side approach, and second one is liability side approach. These things also I told you in the last class. Now we are going for the future maintainable profits. That is how to calculate the future maintainable profits. Every businessman, what he will do is, when he is starting a business, he'll take into account the normal profit, what he is getting yearly, every year. First thing, that thing he will take into account. And that amount he will calculate how much I'm going to get normally up to now. Normally how much I'm getting. That thing he will calculate and he will keep that aside. Then after that, he has to go for future maintainable profits. Future maintainable profits are very, very important for super profits method. Why? Because, okay, that future maintainable profits are nothing but the expected profits that what he wants to get. Because everyone, they expect a good thing, not a bad thing. Okay, so when he want to get more profits, when you want to earn more profits over and above the normal profits, what I have to do, what things I have to take into account, thereby my expected profits or future maintainable profits will be good. That's why the name future maintainable profits. The name came for that. Future, coming in the coming period. Okay, how I'm going to get the profits, and what are the how I have to maintain the things, thereby I can be in a position to get the expected profits. Goodwill is payment for extra profits expected in future. It is not enough to have good profits in the past. It is also necessary that extra or super profits should be available in future. Future maintainable profits is ascertained by adjusting past profits in the light of changes that are expected to take place in future. So don't be of that opinion that this future maintainable profits, they'll come from some other place or from some, from external sources. We have to take into account the past profits and we have to make some adjustments. And what adjustments we have to make, thereby our profits, future profits, they will be good. That is most important point, that people, they must learn and they must keep in them. Unless otherwise there is no history. One thing I'm going to tell you, unless otherwise there is no history, no one in the universe, they can sustain. Okay, they must have some past. Okay, if you say that I'm not having any past, you are nowhere and you are no one in the universe. Past in the sense, past in the sense, your fathers, your grandfathers, your great great grandfathers, all those histories, all the past things, they must be taken into account. Then only you can think about the future. Then only you can be in a position to know where you are. So in the same way, when you want to know about the future maintainable profits, one thing you have to keep in mind that you have to take into account the past profits. And by taking the past profits, you have to make some adjustments. Then only you can be in a position to go for future maintainable profits. Okay, in the light changes that are expected to take place in future, it is ascertained as follows. First of all, past average profits. You have to take past average profits, and for that, you have to add expenses charged to profit and loss account in the past, but not likely to be incurred in future. What are the expenses that you have incurred in the past and which should not repeat in future? Which should not repeat in future. So those things you have taken that. Okay. So can you please give me with an example? Yes. See, suppose if you are working or if you are having a company or if you are working in a company, generally every company, they'll maintain staff welfare expenses. Okay, when you come across staff welfare expenses, not only for medical treatment, not only for medical treatment, for giving, privilege for food. Okay, so say for example, snacks in the evening, dinner in the evening and in the night, all these things. See, you must take within proper limits, and within a stipulated amount. Because I have an experience, it is my personal experience. When I'm working in an organization, those people, they used to provide us, okay, snacks and dinner when the workload is heavy. So when you go for snacks, they kept some limit, and beyond that limit, only people, they'll consume their snacks and they'll consume their dinner. One of my officer, he used to take the snacks, not only one type of snacks, please. He used to take 3 types or 4 types. I don't know whether he has a stomach on his, whether the stomach is limited or it is like a big portion, I don't know that. But he used to take 4 varieties of snacks. Okay, fine, good. Okay, leave it. And coming to dinner, he used to bring the dinner from a star hotel, 3-star hotel, 5-star hotel, like that he used to bring. You don't want to take the meals from a local district. He used to go for star hotels and he used to bring. Thereby, what is happening is every day, when it is 1 day, 2 days, or 3, maximum 10 days or 1 week. Okay, well and good. But when it is a continuous process throughout the month, means automatically the staff welfare expenses increases. And all the bills, they must be submitted and he will get the reimbursement if he spent from his pocket. Of course, he won't go for that. Everything it is in the company's account. Okay, so when this thing it is happening, automatically the staff welfare expenses, they increase a lot. And the auditors, they ask why this staff welfare expenses, they are showing this much. What for? And one of the auditor, he came to me and he asked me, Mr. Sriram, what is this? Sir, I'm going to tell you the truth. You want me to tell a lie or you want me to tell the truth? Yeah, you please tell me the truth. This is the thing that is happening. Okay, up to 5 o'clock, we have to stay in the office. After 5 o'clock, we have to go back to our houses. If there is work, okay, workload, we used to go for snacks and we used to take the snacks, one type of snacks nearby by sending the tunes. But regarding that officer, he used to take four types of snacks. And moreover, in the night, suppose if it becomes night, 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, we used to go for the nearby hotels and we have used to have our dinner. Of course, not a big dinner, a little dinner. Okay, and it is. And it is coming for maximum 7 days. But the officer is staying up to 9 o'clock and 10 o'clock and is taking the dinner from star hotels, which are very costly. So that auditor, he asked the officer, why you are taking? He's an accounts officer, mind it. He's an accounts officer. And he asked, what is this? Every time you are just keeping the bills. Okay, in every bill, your signature is only there, but others person's signatures are not there. So what is this? So immediately he restricted and he raised the query, and the finance manager, he asked, what is this? See the peculiarity. The finance manager, he has to observe all these things, but the finance manager didn't, he oversighted that. And after raising a query from the auditor, then only the finance manager, he came and he asked. So automatically from next year onwards, the staff welfare expenses, they were limited. So thereby what is happening, sir? The profit amount will increase. When you come across expenses, automatically the profit amount will come down. But when you curtail these expenses, what are going to happen? Automatically the profit amount will increase. So we have to add that expenses. Add expenses charged to profit and loss account in the past, but not likely to be incurred in future. Add expected profit on new product. Suppose if you are introducing a new product, what is the expected profit that you are keeping, that you want to get? Okay, this is not exactly, please. Approximately, you have to think, how much, I'm introducing a new product, fine. When I'm introducing a new product, I can anticipate how much I can anticipate from this. In the beginning, no one should go for high amount. Okay, they have to keep a limit and they have to think about that, whether we will get this much amount or not. So what is the expected profit? That thing also you have to take into account and you have to add when you are introducing a new product. Suppose if there is no new product, there is no necessity for you to go and expect or anticipate the profit amount. Okay, so you have to add these two things. Then less expenses to be incurred in future but not charged to profit in the past, such as salary to partner or additional remuneration to directors, etc. Depreciation on the increase in the value of fixed asset. Okay, increase in tax liability, income from non-trading assets, all these things you have to deduct. And these things which are going to be incurred in future, but you should not take into profit and loss. We won't come across. So that is the things, that expenses to be incurred in future, but not charged to profit in the past. Okay, these things didn't come across in the past. Okay, but they are going to be incurred. They are going to be incurred in future. So those things, when you deduct that, automatically you will come across the future maintainable profits. While calculating future maintainable profits, it is advised to average the profits for the past 4 or 5 years. Mind it. This is very, very important. When you are going to calculate the future maintainable profits, you have to go for average. Okay, you have to go for average for the past 4 years or 5 years. And you should not take a long time for this. You have to take either 4 years or you have to take 5 years, and you have to average, and that profits only, average past profits only you have to take into account. Okay, no, no, sir, I am going to take 10 years or 8 years or 9 years. No, no chance, no way. Okay, you have to take 4 years, maximum 5 years. And you have to take the average, and that profits, whatever it may be, the average profits that we come across, we have to consider that as past profits. If the profits are fluctuating and not showing a particular trend, simple average of profits may be calculated. Okay, so when they are fluctuating in the sense, okay, first year, suppose if you are going to take 4 years, first year there is a loss, second year there is a profit, third year there is again loss, fourth year there is again profit. So like this, we can say that the profits are not proper. That's now profits are not fixed, they are fluctuating. That is 1 year loss, second year profit, again loss, again profit. When you are coming across like this, automatically we can say that it is nothing but fluctuating profits. When you are coming across fluctuating profits, one thing you have to take into account, simple average. Okay. On the other hand, if the profits are showing upward or downward trend, then weighted average should be calculated. This is very, very important. That is, year after year, when the profits are increasing or decreasing in any way, either it is in increasing manner or in decreasing manner, compulsory you have to take into account weighted average. Okay, you have to assign some weights, and you have to calculate the weighted profits, and then only you have to take into account the weighted average. That is total weighted average, total weighted profit divided by weights, total weights. So automatically you are going to get the weighted average profit. It is better to attach more importance to the profits of the last year and least importance to the profit of the first year. Yeah. Last year, suppose if you are taking 4 years, the fourth year profit, you must give much importance rather than the first year profit. So that thing also you have to observe. And so many people, they won't observe this. One thing I'm telling you frankly, when you won't observe this, okay, straight away, without any hesitation, I'm telling you that you cannot be in a position to calculate the future maintainable profits. Okay, so all the people, I'm requesting you to keep this in your mind when you are going to calculate the future maintainable profits in a proper manner, in a perfect manner. Each year's profits is assigned a weight. The highest weight is attached to the profit of the most recent year. The profit is multiplied by the weight, and the products are totaled and then divided by the total of weights. This is about the future maintainable profits that we come across. Okay, so when you want to go for this super profits method, you have to calculate all these things. And after that, you are coming across the third method, that is nothing but capitalization method. So what is this capitalization method? I'm giving a small example in this context. Suppose you had visited a business or a company. Say, for example, if you want to acquire the company, you'll go into don't go for a company, there's just a little bit a business. If you go to the business and if you ask, how much I have to pay, okay, that you should come out without touching anything, even the cash box also you should not touch. Okay, just straight away with bare hands, if you want to come out, how much amount I have to pay. Just ask. Then the businessman, he will think and he will say, just give me 10 minutes time or 15 minutes time. I'm going to tell you. So in this meantime, that is in this 15 minutes, he will calculate what are the assets position, what are the liabilities position, okay, all these things, and what are the net assets that I will get, okay, and how much amount I have to ask, how much amount I have to ask additionally over and above the net assets. Suppose if he calculates all the things and if he comes across 7 lakhs net assets, one thing he'll say simply, if you give me 10 lakhs exactly right on this moment, I'm going to come out with bare hands. And this 10 lakhs is nothing but the total value of the business. And the 7 lakhs is nothing but the net assets of the business. And the remaining 3 lakhs is nothing but the value of goodwill. The value of the goodwill. And one more example can give you. All of you, you know this Michael Jackson. He had gone to Beverly Hills on a program, and that Beverly Hills hotel he liked very much. And he called the manager, okay, how much is proprietor, sorry, not manager, proprietor. How much amount I have to give, okay, for this hotel? I want to take this. And all the people, they made some calculations and they told, so it is $120 million. $120 million. Okay, this man, without any hesitation, without any other thinking, okay, he wrote a check for $125 million. $125 million. So $5 million, okay, they got as goodwill. They told to give $120 million. In that 120 also, we will come across the goodwill. But this man, he had given extra amount of $5 million. So that is the difference between the total value of the asset as well as the net assets. Net assets is nothing but the goodwill amount. It should be treated as goodwill. So that is nothing but capitalization method. So in this, what we have to do is we have to take into account the total value of the asset, and you have to take into account the net assets. Sir, how we'll come across the net assets? Total assets minus outside liabilities. You should not take into account the capital or any other thing. Whatever it may be, the outside liabilities you have to deduct. Thereby, you are going to get the net assets. Understood? So this is how you have to do. And some people, they'll do this by taking into account the super profits method. Super profits. Whatever it may be, the super profits, they'll calculate in that way also. The total value of the undertaking is ascertained by capitalizing future maintainable profits at the normal rate of return. From the figure, the amount of net tangible assets is deducted. The result figure is goodwill. It is calculated according to the following method. Goodwill is equal to super profits into 100 by normal rate of return. Okay, so this is about the capitalization method. So what about this annuity method? This is a peculiar thing that we'll come across, and in the next class or in the coming classes, I'm going to explain again this, okay, annuity method. But most frequently, most commonly, people, they'll use this 3 methods. Okay, average profits method, super profits method, and capitalization method. In annuity method, okay, there everything we have to take every year. Okay, every year we have to take the calculations and we have to calculate. Thereby, we can be in a position to know how much amount we have paid and how much interest we have to calculate and how much it will be equivalent to the annuity tables. What is the annuity rate? How many years that we have to take into account, and what is interest rate for that many number of years. All these things we have to take into account and we have to calculate. Okay, so this is anti method. And even though people they follow this anti method, some most commonly and most generally, people they'll take into account this net MNN, average profits method, super profits method, and capitalization. Okay. These are the three commonly used methods that we come across. And with this, I'm closing this video. And in the next class, I'm going to take a new thing. Thank you.